Hi everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Food Mood Chronicles. My name is Talia, and I am a soon-to-be registered holistic nutritionist. This is my very first recording of an episode, so please bear with me. Each episode will be short and sweet, and it's going to be on detailed information on various topics that correlate with the emerging research on the gut-brain connection, and how our food choices not only affect our physical state, but our mental state as well. So this week's topic is an introduction to the food-mood connection, how gut health affects our mental health. Now, we all know how the importance of living a healthy lifestyle has always been preached. We're told to eat healthy, exercise, get a good night's sleep, and essentially you got to eat good to feel good, right? So I'm here to go beyond those basic statements and dig a little bit deeper into the connection between the gut and our mental health. So in this episode, I want to give you a simplified overview of the anatomy and physiology behind the gut-brain axis, which is how the gut and the brain talk to each other. So the food-mood connection refers to the relationship between what we eat and the effects it has on the function of our bodies and brains. Now, the gut-brain axis was first discovered way back in the 1960s. However, only over the last decade or so did research grow significantly. Microbiologists, neurologists, and nutrition scientists have revised their understandings of how the gut and brain interact. So with more recent emerging research, our guts, brains, nervous systems, and behavior are now considered to be way more interconnected than we thought, because mainly of the influence of the gut bacteria, the microbiome, on our emotional well-being. So the second brain, which is also known as the enteric nervous system, is the gut, communicating with your brain, the central nervous system. So what exactly does the gut control? So first, we're going to talk about the vagus nerve. It's the longest, most complex cranial nerve that connects your gut and brain. It sends signals in both directions and carries messages from the brain down your spine and into your abdomen, specifically the digestive system. So your gut and brain are also connected through chemicals called neurotransmitters. And neurotransmitters produced in the brain control feelings and emotions. And many of these neurotransmitters are also produced by your gut cells and the trillions of microbes living there. And these microbes also make other chemicals that affect how your brain works. So the digestive system has over 100 million nerves and chemicals that send messages up to the central nervous system located in our brain. And this allows us to feel in our guts, this is where also a gut feeling comes from. So the gut microbiome refers to the 100 trillion bacteria, fungi, and viruses that are living and working together in your gut, also known as the microbiota. The majority live in the intestinal system, mainly in the colon, and most microbes are neutral or beneficial, but a small amount are pathogenic, and an overgrowth of bacteria is when you will begin to see issues arise. So a major function of the gut microbiome is our key neurotransmitters that are produced in the gut, as they play a critical role in our brain development, behavior, and mental health. Neurotransmitters are food particles that are transformed into chemical messengers which support our cognitive life and help regulate brain function. And as you can see, the neurotransmitters include dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine, serotonin, and GABA. So now that we've covered the anatomy of the gut-brain link, we're going to dive into the influences on our gut. So many factors influence our gut, and here I've listed the most common factors that can potentially have a negative influence on your gut. And as you can see, some of these factors we don't have any control over, such as external environmental factors. So that includes heavy metals, exposure to pathogens, and pollution. So what happens when these factors negatively influence our gut? So a condition referred to as dysbiosis occurs when the beneficial and harmful bacteria levels become unbalanced, and this causes a negative impact on the GI tract. So this can create many digestive disturbances, leading to things such as leaky gut, candidiasis, inflammation, a weakened immune system, or the development of diseases. Dysbiosis can also lead to candidiasis, which is the overgrowth of sugar-fermenting yeast, which reproduces and releases a potent immune-suppressing toxic waste that will be absorbed into the bloodstream. A dysbiotic state may also lead to leaky gut, which is called intestinal permeability, a condition that develops when the mucous membrane or lining of the small intestine becomes too porous, allowing toxins, microorganisms, pathogens, and undigested food particles to leak through into your bloodstream. So after that, it kind of becomes a little bit of a domino effect, as these molecules released into the bloodstream will cause a major inflammatory response and trigger a reaction from the immune system. With the release of these molecules into the bloodstream, it can influence brain function, leading to symptoms of anxiety and depression. With leaky gut, there is still some controversy if stressors such as anxiety or dietary components actually contribute to intestinal permeability, as research is still limited. However, there is no controversy when it comes to diseases such as celiac or Crohn's disease or irritable bowel syndrome, as it will result in intestinal inflammation and damage. So even with the controversy, I do feel that it is important to address leaky gut. So as you can see, there are many symptoms that come with an imbalanced gut, which is why it is so important to get to the root cause of your imbalances in order to determine how you will successfully rebalance your good gut bacteria. It's also important to remember that everyone has a very unique microbiome, and there's no one-size-fits-all plan when it comes to your health. I've listed some simple factors that correlate with maintaining a healthy balance in your gut. And in future episodes, we will explore these factors in depth, and I will share with you key nutrients and lifestyle habits that will help you find balance physically and mentally. So to wrap up this first episode, the key takeaway is that your gut health does affect your mental health, and what we put into our bodies goes beyond our physical state of well-being. So thank you for listening to the very first episode of the Food Mood Chronicles. Link and subscribe below, or give me a follow on Instagram at Your Holistic Haven.